Yes, I've extracted my client from 27 St. George Street. Cleanup is required. The 7th floor north stairwell, I've left a French national employed by the Ture crime syndicate. You'll find 2 more on the south stairwell. On the roof, you're going to find another who's going to need some dental work. In the alley, there's 2 gentlemen who may require some counseling. 1 more in the east office on the 6th floor under construction, and 1 on the number 3 elevator. Oh, parking garage. Under the Rolls Royce in space 5, there's a pound of plastic explosives, so you might want to call the bomb squad. Check that. Make it the fire department.
Is that my car?
I'm afraid so. Have a seat. It's been a long day.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.
Hello, thank you for listening to Cheap Seat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
The greater good, I think. I think I was supposed to reply to the greater good.
You both are looking at me.
Oh, now you're back. Now I can hear you.
You both are looking like you can't hear me.
Well, we couldn't.
Oh, we couldn't.
Nothing has
Like,
changed.
It was very, very, very dim, very low when you were coming in the intro.
Oh, weird. Because
Yeah.
it changed.
I don't know if it was with the music coming on or not. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I think he was just trying to seduce us.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm not sure that's how seduction works. Maybe that's how it works.
Oh, no, it is.
Yeah.
I think one of us is doing it wrong. Okay, well, hopefully somebody can hear me. This is very loose. What is happening here? This is episode 467. 467. We're kind of a week late, I guess. We'll see how this goes.
The world did not want us to do this episode. It was literally like we were trying to get to The Hague, and everything was being thrown at us to stop us from making this episode.
Yeah, I think we had like a migraine at one point, and then somebody was something else, and then I literally
You
had
forgot your computer.
I forgot my computer you're right, and then not that window, but the other side of the house, there was a car accident that took out the power pole. So I mean, I'm literally pulling clips Friday or Sunday night, and then lost power. So I mean, it's just been oh geez, it is it's been, this episode is the Samuel Jackson and the universe has been the bad guys, Dukovich's bad guys for this. So, but we're here. We've made it to The Hague, and now we are here to present our testimony for this episode. So this episode is 467, and we are talking about The Hitman's Bodyguard. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew. When life gives you shit, you make Kool-Aid, Jimison.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. Glad you came in.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm glad I could make it too.
Yeah. For those who are watching via YouTube, this next joke will have a little bit, is a little funny. Well, for those who are just listening by the podcast, we use StreamYard to communicate for the video, and we have the ability to put whatever name we want. Whatever little name. Mine just says Sean, and Sam says Sam. But Andrew likes to be creative.
Like normal people. Yeah. Like
Andrew likes to be creative and wrote Dukovich is a dick, and make sure he wrote dick as lowercase d, which is funny because that's a line in the movie.
Yeah.
That's the password. So I give you that context to say we never coordinate anything pre-show. They don't know the jokes I'm gonna do. I don't know the jokes they're gonna do. Like, we have no idea, because we found 10 years ago when we started this show that it's more genuine that way. That if we're actually laughing at the jokes, then we feel like the audience will also actually laugh at the jokes. That's the idea. So with that having all been said, there's some context. Sam.
yes.
Sam, his
What?
password is Sean is a dick, all uppercase except for dick, which is lowercase vector.
Sean, hey buddy, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. There's so many ways to kill you from this movie that I'm just gonna stand out here from 374 yards away. What was it? 300. Lord, that might be a question to one of Andrew's questions, an answer to Andrew's questions later. But I'm going to stand out here from about 380 yards away and then take a shot at you, Sean.
Okay, that sounds good. Through a C cup sized window.
Yeah. It was a lucky shot. It'll be a lucky shot.
Yeah. It's funny because he said it was whatever the number he said. When the camera zoomed in on him, it felt farther away than whatever the number he said.
Yeah,
it felt like 3 miles.
Whatever it was not. It was not within the scope of poor 3-star
Triple
Ryan
A.
Reynolds. Triple A.
That's right. Oh man,
protection.
Yeah. Cool. So let's pull up a comfy chair and dive into this movie. So I'm super excited that we got to do this movie, because this is one of those movies, and this is so we've talked about this before, right? We've had these conversations where we talk about. That's a great background. That's legit a really good background, Sam.
It is good.
I like how the car is in the water somehow.
Are in the water too.
Yeah, I don't understand why it thinks that cars drive in the water in Amsterdam.
Apparently they do,
but they do.
Well,
so.
I hear you can think they do.
So we've talked about in the past where we all have those movies where it's like, I don't care what you say, nothing is gonna make me feel differently about the movie.
Yeah.
Like this for me is one of those movies. You both can come on here and say this is the worst Ryan Reynolds movie I've ever seen. He's overacting. They have no chemistry. It's not funny. It's boring. The action is terrible. The CGI is bad. Like, you could say all of those things, and I wouldn't care at all. I'm just going to say, that's fine. I'm going to go rewatch it again. Because, in fact, this is true. Not only did I watch it in preparation for last week when we were supposed to do it, but because I just wanted to watch it again, I watched it again yesterday. Because I wanted to. Because this movie makes me happy. And then more than once tonight, pulling clips for the movie, I found myself just letting the movie keep playing because it was funny, which is one of the reasons why we started the show a little late. So, I love this movie. I don't care. So I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to for our listening audience to share in my enjoyment of this movie. I've probably seen this movie about 10 times now. Since first discovering it about 2 years ago. And yeah.
So 10 times in 2 years?
Probably.
Wow, man.
That's a lot.
And it's not even like it's streaming. Like,
it wasn't. Well, this is what happened.
It took us forever to find this thing because I've been looking forward to it for quite some time.
Yeah. Well, it was on
this direct to streaming?
No.
Oh no, this was in theaters.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. And I missed it. I just totally missed it in theaters. It came out in 2017, so before COVID. It was had its time. But it was on HBO. It might have been maybe 3 years I've been watching this movie. But it came out on HBO one day, and I recorded it, DVR, back when I had a DVR. And I just kept it on the DVR. So it would be, I have to do something in the house. I have to clean or vacuum or whatever. I would put it on. So sit down, pay attention, focus, watch. I've probably only done that like 3 or 4 times. But put it on as company, it's probably another 5 or 6 times. So I've probably seen this about 8 or 9, 10 times easily.
Nice.
And, which is funny because when Sam suggested that we do this movie, because we were trying to come up with what we wanted to do, and Sam said, "Hey, Hitman's Bodyguard is on Freevee on Amazon," and I said, "Oh my gosh, excellent!" So then Andrew says, "Didn't we already do this movie?" And so then of course I'm like questioning, like going back through my lists to make sure that we hadn't done this. So then my wife, who watches the movies with me, she says, "So what's the movie for this week?" And I said, "We're doing Hitman's Bodyguard." She said, "Didn't you already do that?" I'm like, "No, I just talk about it a lot." So,
yeah. Well, and I mean, you've been talking this thing up for years now. It feels like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's right. So I hope that my hype of it hasn't either been
Right.
overdone. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about
So,
that,
right.
about the potential. You guys saying, "Yeah, you way overdid it on this movie." So um, we'll find out. But before we do all that, Andrew has to tell us what is in fact Hitman's Bodyguard.
One of the world's top bodyguards gets a new client, a world-class hitman who must testify at the International Criminal Court. He must put their differences aside. They must put their differences aside, and work together to make it to the trial alive and on time.
All right, yeah, that's it. That's basically it's not a complicated movie.
And for those of you watching on YouTube, yes, this is a Shaw. I'm getting old and I'm getting cold.
Do you come home and put your
Get over it.
sweater? Do you hang up your sweater in the closet and put on your new house shoes?
Yes.
And talk very slowly to those around you.
No, I'm sitting at my wife's desk chair tonight, and she has this that she just keeps on the back. And I thought, you know what? I know it's a woman's Shaw, but by God, I'm going to wear it.
You can't in the camera shot. You can't really tell. It just looks like a sweater. You know, like it can't really tell that it's a shawl. Like, it just looks like you're wearing like a jacket or something. So
Yeah.
you're fine. I mean, hey, look, as soon as I come home, you know, my work polo comes off, hoodie comes on. I get it. It's fine.
Yep. No, I agree.
I alternate between my Star Trek hoodie and my Panthers hoodie and some other nerdy hoodies that I have. So this one right now is kind of my favorite because it's so comfy and cozy. And yes, the people on camera just had to watch me do that. I'm sorry. So yeah, let's do this. Let's do our 5-word reviews. I'm super excited. Sam, what you got?
All right, I've got 2 here. And mine are, hold on as I pull them up. The 80s, the 90s all over again. And Great Odd Couple movie.
Okay.
Now, Sean, you've been talking this thing up for years, and I kind of know by now your style of movie when you love movies, right?
Yeah.
It's not comfort films per se, but like they all kind of have the same, I don't know, happy-go-lucky, just, you know, there's a happy ending. You know, I kind of knew how this thing was going to work out, you know, when I went into it, and I was ready to bash it. I was ready to go in here, mainly because here we've got 2 actors that we have seen recently be fairly annoying in what they do. Remember Ryan Reynolds in that Rock movie? Can't remember which one it was, but he was like
Red
over
Notice?
the top. Was it Red Notice? Yeah. He was completely over the top Ryan Reynolds and just annoying. He was mean in that movie with his snark. This movie dialed it back a little bit, and I love his character in this movie. I like the uptight Ryan Reynolds, but he's still he's still hilarious, and he's still quick-witted, and you know, he's very, you know, I loved his character in this. Whoever directed this dialed him back to a point where it was still what we want in Ryan Reynolds, but not over the top. Same thing with Samuel Jackson. We've seen movies, and I've seen movies with Samuel Jackson where I'm like, the only reason they cast him here is to be the angry black man who cusses all the time. Now, he does cuss in this movie a lot. And
he's very Sam Jackson.
Yeah, and it did get a bit over the top annoying with that for me personally. But I was not expecting him to basically be the character Domino from Deadpool 2 in this movie. The man was luckier than any person I've ever seen, right? Basically could do nothing wrong. God was watching after this guy, or at least, you know, after his priest father was killed, was looking after him, this movie. And to put these 2 guys together, I want more. I am looking forward to watching Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I'm hoping they have a bit of the same dynamic, but I could watch many of these movies. I could watch this again, and I probably will watch it again at some point. My general complaint is the complaints I generally put on these types of action movies, and that is a lot of the action is recycled. In terms of the bad guys are spraying bullets everywhere. They cannot hit the broadside of a barn or the broadside of a boat in the open in the middle of a canal. Whereas, they're one-shotting, the good guys are one-shotting the bad guys in there. So that's where I got the 90s from, right? So it was, there's a bit of plot armor for these guys. It's not enough to make the movie bad, but it is enough to kind of make me roll my eyes a few times that I think they could have come up with some more interesting ways to have a shootout or have ways for these guys to avoid getting shot, much like Extraction does and John Wick and things like that. But maybe I'm asking too much for an action comedy, odd couple comedy, which is basically what this is. The only thing I could do without in this movie, y'all, and I'm a little worried about the sequel, is I didn't like Catherine Zeta-Jones I'm sorry, Selma Hayek. I think I think she's too much. I find it funny, their relationship, but it was a little bit too much from her in terms of, I don't know. I don't want to see her cussing and being gross. And
I mean, she was so mean to her prison
roommate.
Did I say
Did I tell you could turn around?
Turns around and farts. I mean, like, okay, you can take a 5-minute break. It just, she was.
Yeah.
But
I laughed when I was supposed to laugh. I was excited when I was supposed to be excited. There is one scene that I love where I think he's fighting in a kitchen, and he pulls a guy around, and another guy comes through a door, and he has grabbed, it looks like a cookie sheet or something.
Yeah.
And he gets shot through the guy, but he's holding up the cookie sheet to keep himself from getting shot with the bullets that are going through this guy. Yeah. I thought that was very clever. I thought that was a perfect, showing the smarts and the planning and what Ryan Reynolds' character could be able to do. And I wanted more of that. I wanted more of that Extraction style, use what you got type of stuff in this movie. But was it predictable? Sure. I mean, when you heard when Samuel L. Jackson asked Ryan Reynolds if he would take a bullet for him, you knew at some point he was going to take a bullet from it. So that kind of thing. But like Sean said, I don't care. I enjoyed it. I had fun. And for a movie where I was looking to escape and to have a bit of fun with, this absolutely tripped the trigger. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, guys.
Nice.
Sean, thank you. This was a great recommendation.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm interested to hear what Andrew has to say, because he swore that he had seen this before. Yeah. And why? Of course, we did it already, because why else would I watch this movie? You're playing video games in that, and you're like, "Yeah, I watched it for the first time. I'd never seen it before."
Yeah. So I really thought that I had seen this before, but I think Ryan Reynolds just did so many things. Red Notice, Six Underground, Adam Project. And Free Guy, like he just had this streak of a bunch of movies, and I saw all of them except for this one apparently. And I guess because you talked about it so much, I was like, yeah, we've seen that. Like we've done it even for the podcast. And then I thought, I've seen Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Like I've seen both of them. I don't think I've seen that one either. Like, so I don't know what I was thinking about, but I hadn't seen the movie. So I have 2 5-word reviews, and it's funny that Sam said about The Odd Couple, because that's my first one. It says good odd couple action movie.
Nice. Yeah.
And then my second one is please clean the moisture off the camera lens. I don't know. I know it wasn't moisture. It was probably a filter, but that's what it looked like. It looks like when you fog up a glass and then you look through it. Like, I don't know why it bothered me so much, but I had enough of that. Enough of the fogged lens look through this movie. It really bothered me to the point that I was distracted by it.
And you know what? I never noticed it, man. I don't think I ever noticed it.
Did we
Now I
watch
feel bad.
the movie?
I mean, maybe my contacts were just fogged up.
Is your computer screen dirty? Like, I'm not understanding.
Like, yeah, seriously, I don't remember any of that.
Remember anything being foggy ever, except when he's waking up when he got hit by the bike and he's in the torture room with Goran or whatever.
Oh, okay. If it was if it was me, then I'm worried about my eyes. But I really think it was.
Fuzzy now? Like, do we like?
No, you're not fuzzy now.
Okay.
But just looking back through some of the pictures, I can still see it. So
Really?
not every scene. I mean, there were some scenes that you don't notice it, but like if you look at the picture of him in the van with the nuns, like you can kind of see it a little bit. I'm just zooming through here. Most of these are pictures of the movie posters, so you don't really get to see it. There's another one where they're in the court, and it's just very foggy looking to me. It's picture 25 of 117. And you can kind of see it. It's really when there's a bright light on the screen.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, 25.
It's just
I
like
see
a
what you're saying.
haze or something.
Yeah, like the windows in 26 of 117 in The Hague.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. But like,
yeah. I noticed it so much in the movie.
Huh.
That
Yeah, it's definitely a filter.
So
Yeah.
what? So actually, it's not is the thing. So what that is it's what you call an overexposure. So what is happening is that normally when you shoot like those windows, obviously like the sun is coming through those windows when they're shooting this scene. So normally to prevent what's happening on camera, they'll put what's called ND filters on the windows themselves. They'll actually put like a mesh filter on the windows to darken the window. But the director wanted, I guess, that brightness to make you, because like in this shot, especially in like in that photo you're talking about on 26 of 117 on IMDb, they're all looking toward the camera. I think you're supposed to feel a little uncomfortable at what's happening in the room, and that's, I guess, it's bright like that. Yeah, I think that's so. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's like an overexposure kind of a thing that they're doing. I see what you're saying.
Well, okay. So other than that little issue there, I did enjoy the movie.
Sure.
It wasn't. I mean, to me, it wasn't stellar, but it was something kind of a mindless. Take your time and just enjoy some kind of stupid, funny, comedy.
And sometimes you need that, right? Sometimes it's a medicine.
I do agree with Sam to the point that it kind of got a little repetitive with the action. Because honestly, there were some times where I thought, oh, okay, here's another motorcycle chase, and here's another car chase scene. Like it almost felt like the same car chase and the same motorcycle chase. I thought, well, okay. So that did get a little old. I thought the action, like choreography, was really well done. It looked good. It looked, of course, Ryan Reynolds doing all the other action movies he's done, and Deadpool, and he's a pro at it by this point. So that part I really enjoyed. And yeah, I did find myself thinking Sam Jackson is a little too Sam Jackson for this. And I guess maybe he's supposed to be a little over the top or whatever. But yeah. But yeah, it was definitely worth a watch though.
Okay.
But I had not seen it before.
It is what it is. All right. So my 5-word review, and I do want to get back to like the action stuff because I'm interested to talk about that. So I did 2 5-word reviews: a funny romp through Europe, and best buddy cop since Lethal Weapon 4.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
I look at this as kind of a buddy cop film, right?
Yeah.
The two guys doing the thing, and yes, it is more of like an odd couple trope than the buddy cop trope because they are at odds, even though they're on the same team. I love this movie so much, and I know, and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. Like I really like it. It warms my heart that you enjoyed it, and so like even like your little nitpicks, which don't really bother me, but they do a little bit. So like so the action scene. So let's talk about it. So this movie has so you've got the opening. Well, not the opening act. So you have the opening action scene really is where Ryan Reynolds is saving Richard E. Grant, who plays really great, just coked out. It was just he was perfect in that role, and I love you guys know I like those quick cut action bits that some other directors are known for. So we got that action scene, which is pretty small, and then we get to the first real big action scene, which is when you have Sam Jackson and Elektra from the Marvel Daredevil show, and they're being ambushed in the streets of I guess London. I guess they're in England still, or are they in Europe? I don't know. I know they're in Europe, obviously, but I don't know where that.
London, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
thought it was
first-
London. I can't remember where they are. Doesn't matter. So they have that big that shootout, whatever, and some good guys are getting shot, some bad guys are getting shot. Sam Jackson gets hit in the leg, but to the plot armor point, he has to get hit in the leg so that because that's a plot device later on. Like when Ryan Reynolds looks down his leg and he's like, "I'm not going to look," and then he kicks him in the leg, and so like it's used later on in the movie. So then we have action scene number, I guess 3 is them escaping, which is just kind of more hand-to-hand combat. Like it felt like every action scene was building on the last.
Yeah.
Like the first one was kind of small, it's just him disarming people, and then the second one's the two of them disarming and taking out people, and then the third is the shootout with the 3 dudes outside at night. And then the fourth one is the Amsterdam. Right, it's the Amsterdam boat, cars, motorcycles,
Everything. Yeah, throw the whole kitchen sink at him.
the whole kitchen.
Which there is a scene in there that just makes me roll my eyes. And when they're traveling in the car down next to one of the canals, like you could absolutely tell all the extras were placed like perfectly there. I mean, there was a construction extra, there was a dog walking extra, it was like you knew, and it was like they just screamed action or something. And then there was one guy shoveling, and a construction worker shoveling what looked to be a weed with a pointed shovel, and I'm like, no, that's not how it's done. So it's like that's the one part of the movie I was like, oh come on, try a little harder, guys.
We just needed the old lady on the walker.
Yeah, right. Or no, in a glass, right? The glass window going by.
Well, he did go through glass. Ryan Reynolds did go through glass in the restaurant bit. So
yeah,
he did go.
So they did hit that mark, but yeah, it was everything you could possibly expect to happen in a car chase. In a canal. It was quite fun.
Yeah, and there's a fun little Easter egg, and I wrote it in the trivia. But that's during that chase scene. There's a man wearing Logan's jacket from X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Nice.
So yeah, it's. I mean, I like the Amsterdam chase. I mean, yes, of course, he's just in a boat and people are shooting at him. But what I thought was actually really interesting is that there aren't a lot of movies that do action scenes in Amsterdam. Amsterdam is not.
Yeah.
Like we've seen boat chase movies, right? We saw one in Indiana Jones 3, and we've seen them in The Italian Job, and like there's a bunch of movies.
How many times is it over in
But it's usually in Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Yeah, it's usually in Florence. And it's It's not Amsterdam. So I thought that the setting was, because those canals are small and the streets are tiny. And I also did like the fact that, and this happens, like how many times do we have these action movies where they're swerving in and out of traffic and knocking people over and there's never police there?
Yeah.
Whereas we had police and Interpol and the bad guys. And they were all kind of terrible. Which, again, it was just fine. And I'm okay with Ryan Reynolds, on a motorcycle jumping over boats and stuff like that. I'm okay with him being super cop.
But I'm not okay with bullets, obviously from a range where it should have been almost an instant hit, missing over and over and over again.
Yeah, but they have to, right? Because if they die, a third of them in the way of the movie, then what's the point? Like you have to have them be bad shots. You have to have them spraying with these, submachine guns that are poorly aimed anyway.
But give them,
not wrong.
Give them reasons. Yeah.
This dude has, 100-round magazine shooting this submachine gun at a boat, and he can't hit anything. Sam Jackson picks up, he picks up the flare gun, and what is this? Oh, I forgot.
Flare gun.
Oh, well, flare gun. Okay, I don't know why I have.
Was that the flare gun from?
I was looking
Sahara.
Sahara. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
For it, but I didn't have it. Apparently there's a. Oh, here it is.
Rudy, I shot a guy with a flare gun. Flare gun. Cool.
Yeah. So, he shoots him with a flare gun and whatever. And it was funny. So I'm pulling clips, and the kids are still awake, and so I have the headphones in, so the kids can't hear. They can't hear what's happening, right?
Yeah.
But that scene is happening, and I'm like, Declan, watch this, and he shoots with a flare gun, and Declan goes, "Oh my god, he just messed up that car." I'm like, "It doesn't matter, it's a bad guy car." He goes, "But it was such a nice car." I'm like, "Oh man." And then I will let him watch the scene where the Sam Jackson hits the road barrier, and Ryan Reynolds goes flying through the windshield.
I was not expecting that, by the way.
That did get a good laugh on me.
It's like, what the
And he just rolls through it, just stands back up, and gosh, it's so funny. This movie just really makes me laugh. It really does.
You ever hear of a seatbelt?
Yeah, he says, "What happened to the seatbelt rule?" Because the whole
yeah.
time he's like, "Put your seatbelt on." He's always about the seatbelt, and then the one time he forgets. It's just so funny. Just like all that stuff just makes it. I'm okay with Gary Oldman being just a generic bad guy from Belarus. And he learned. I mean, it's funny. Gary Oldman said he spent like 5 weeks learning Russian for the part. It's like, dude, you're trying too hard, man. Like this isn't that. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't that kind of movie where
Gary Oldman is a good bad guy, though.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was reading the trivia where he talked about how he spent all this time learning Russian, and I thought, he's a Russian bad guy in Air Force One. Did he not have to learn Russian for that part? But I guess
Well, that was a minute ago. He may have forgotten.
Yeah, it was 96 that movie came out, 98, something like that. So anyway, the movie, yes, Andrew, I think it was you. It was Sam, because he said the wrong name. Salma Hayek she's a little over the top.
Yep.
There's a lot of swearing coming out of her. She's a bit much. Like, I mean, next to the bad guy Dukovich, she's also kind of a bad guy because she's so mean to everyone. Well, not to no except she's mean to everyone, especially to
yeah.
So anyway, but the movie just brings me happiness and joy, and I love it so much. So will I watch it again? Absolutely. Will I watch it again soon? Maybe. I don't know. In fact, you guys are gonna laugh at me for this. So on Monday, I had a day at work where it was like I had like 3 hours of planned. I need to build a cart for a thing. And this is a job where it's like I've done this thing now like a dozen times, so it's kind of mindless. So like I'll put a movie on to keep me company. I watched Dungeons and Dragons again, and I still laugh at some of the lines.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I like my comfort things. I like my movies with the comfort and the fun and yeah, it just makes me happy. Oh, I thought I had that. I guess not. I thought I had Dungeons and Dragons in my library here, but I don't. Nope. Oh well. I was gonna play the clip where he says he found a new den. Did he eat the last one? Nope, I don't have it. Oh well. Speaking of clips, are you guys ready for some clips? I have a few clips here.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Let me get back to my right thing here. Okay, here we go. This one.
Mr. Seifert, Mr. Seifert, this way, please. All right, is it not enough cocaine or too much?
And I think, Sam, your point, I loved your point, and I hadn't thought of it this way, but you're 100% right. Stuck up, arrogant, full of himself, Ryan Reynolds is kind of awesome because, I mean, as the movie goes, he is humbled. He loosens up. He's able to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep. There's a character arc. And
There
that's
is.
what we look, right? I mean, we want to see some sort of change in our actors or in our characters of some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So I think we see it.
Yeah. From hating, I mean, the fact that he keeps her on his phone is pure evil. It's just funny.
Yes.
These few clips these are earlier clips I captured before the power went out, so I forgot what this one is, but this is just labeled assholes.
I've had the Black Diamond service 4 times now. You understand? 4 times. The car still smells like a cemetery. Are you washing the car with old assholes?
And that poor guy is just like, no. Okay. This also caught me off guard.
Is this who you want me to protect? Look at my shirt.
Ferme-la 2 secondes.
Fine. You get the feet, I'll get the nostrils.
All I can picture is him saying that line and Sam Jackson, who's lying on the floor, just losing it. Like the first time, just laughing out loud. That's how I feel. Like that's how I want that reaction to happen. All right. This one's a little long, but I think it's worth it.
I remember
I know all I need to know about you. All your early arrests, your father in and out of prison, you following in the same footsteps.
Did your little research, did you?
Well, prepared for a test. There are no surprises.
Then you grew up wanting to be a cop till you found out wasn't no money in that shit. So you joined the CIA, sharpened your skills, then decided to open your own shop, pimp yourself out to the fat cats. I didn't even have to do no research to know that shit. It's written all over your punk ass.
Little instant backstory there. So that's a cool way to get backstory, to have somebody tell it to you and kind of make fun of you at the same time. Okay. AAA rating.
You never even took one for a client?
Nope. Never had to.
Yeah, but the question is, would you? See, if I'm paying AAA rates, then I'm looking for that full service shit. You know what I'm saying? That extra A stands for ass. Yours, between mine and a bullet.
That's right. Okay. All right. Time for this one.
Dr. Bellissimo,
Go with God. Still over 150 people.
250, easy.
Yeah, but they love you. Me, they want to perform an exorcism on.
Question for a higher power. Who is more wicked? He who kills evil motherfuckers or he who protects them?
I like that.
Well, and I love that fact. I did not realize that until that moment. I'm like, wait a second, he's right. He's over here killing bad guys, and Ryan Reynolds is being paid by them to keep them alive.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was kind of one of those ding ding moments in my brain. I'm like, oh, interesting aspect. This is cool.
Yeah, it doesn't. It kind of helps keep the movie from being too black and white. Like Kincaid,
Yeah.
he's a hitman, but he's a dude that kills bad guys, right? Like, and
Right.
Ryan Reynolds is the bodyguard, but he's not the White Knight. So like, there's some coolness to that. There's this movie for kind of a silly throwaway action flick. There's a little bit of some goodness there, a little bit of heart, a little bit of depth. So for the listening audience, this, I don't know how well this is going to work out, but it's the scene where Ryan Reynolds he's sitting there talking to the barkeep in Amsterdam, and right when Kincaid comes out and all hell breaks loose, it's just his monologue. With the chaos going on in the background, it's fantastic. So I just love this monologue. So just bear with it if it sounds awful, but here we go.
There he goes again.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I hope they kill him. I really do. Even if I did save him. Again. You know what he'd say? He'd say that I had it all figured out before you got here. He'd say, I guess my thing's just better than your thing, motherfucker. I guess bullets are just allergic to me, motherfucker. This guy single-handedly ruined the word motherfucker. You know how hard that is to do? I was AAA rated. Executive protection criminal. I was up here. I was up here. Damn it!
When he says AAA rated, to think that there's like a Yelp rating for bodyguards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I love the idea that the music that we're hearing is a jukebox next to it when the cars hits, as opposed to just part of the soundtrack of the movie. I like it when movies do that, when they incorporate the soundtrack we're hearing into the movie. I think that's funny. But I love it. Did you guys, by the way, see the end credit scene?
I didn't realize there was one.
I guess by Sam's blank stare, no.
I'll have to go back and rewatch because I didn't realize there was one. I don't think you can.
Did I? What is happening?
I think he must have unplugged his microphone and didn't realize it.
I can hear him. I can hear him clicking. He's just like back. He's moving his head all around. What are you doing? Are you ignoring me on purpose?
Oh.
I make a good podcast.
Yeah. The best. So the end credits it's just a blooper. It's a blooper from that scene. And he's sitting there, and it's like, okay, ready, act, get ready, and then all of a sudden, the big church that's nearby, the bells start going off. And it's painfully long, like how long the bells are going. It's worth going back watching the commercial break just to see the end, just to see the blooper. It might be on YouTube. I don't know. Okay, another clip here.
No, when life gives you shit, you make Kool-Aid.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay. The aforementioned seatbelt.
Really? What happened to the seatbelt rule?
This was before that. I got these out of order, but this also made me laugh.
Have you ever said please or
Please, motherfucker! Why are we always yelling? Get out!
I love that part. Okay, again, this one's a little bit long, but I love. You could sum up this whole movie with this little interaction right here.
About to be a hero, save the day. None of that matters. There is no redemption, no atonement for a man like you. Your whole life has been but a trail of corpses. And I will be just another dead body on the pile. Go ahead. Finish me. But don't think for a moment it will change what you are.
I don't give a about all of that. You up when you shot my bodyguard.
Who?
Yeah, that's it. It's just like he's trying to have this moral high ground. He's like, I don't care about that. You shot my guy. Oh, that's great. All right, there you go. Time for this.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
All right, this is part of the show where we play a game that I'm surprised that I didn't expect to have one. So that's really cool. So Andrew here will play a game called Hey, Did We Notice? And Sam and I will go back and forth answering questions about the movie, seeing if we notice things in the background. And if we get it right, we get a point. That's how it works. And usually, if anything is like the last few weeks or whatever, if first 1-1 will win.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So who do you want to go first, Andrew?
I think you went first last time, so let's let Sam go first.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Question number 1. In the very first scene, there's a wristwatch. What time is on the wristwatch?
Oh Lord, it was like 3:34.
Sean?
I don't know, 8 a.m.
7:33.
Oh, you're close.
Close.
Sean was closer. Yeah.
Oh, no, it was
All right,
really
Sean.
important, so.
Yeah. All right, Sean. Question number 2.
Yep.
What is the slogan for the air fresheners that when he goes to buy the air fresheners for his car? There's a slogan written on the top of the air freshener container.
Really? We are not old assholes.
No. Sam?
It should be something along the lines of a cedar tree in your car.
The slogan was Hell's Bells, it's Russell's Smells.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right. They go to a safe house in Amsterdam. What is the apartment number of the safe house?
Who is this? Is this to me or to Sean?
Oh, sorry. This would be to you. Yes.
To me.
Yeah.
The safe house is number 381.
Close. Sean.
416.
Closer. It was 4.
We were so close. Man,
Close.
I was at least 800 blocks away.
Yeah. All right. Sean, this is to you.
Yeah.
What 2 brands of toothpaste are on the sink when Darius is digging the bullet out of his leg and he puts the suture back in the sink? You can see 2 tubes of toothpaste on the sink.
Crest and Colgate.
Sam.
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't let's do I don't know what else is there. There's Colgate and there's
Aqua.
There's
one.
Crest. No.
Isn't that what
I don't. That's the exact opposite of what Sean said.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't know my brands.
Well, these aren't typical brands. There was Tom's
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
Arm & Hammer.
Okay.
I guess Arm & Hammer is more of a typical brand.
Mainstream, yeah.
Or mainstream. All right, we're still 0-0.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
First
All
one
right,
to
Sam.
win wins. Yeah.
Here we go. What is the name of the club where Darius and Sonia meet?
La Cucaracha.
Yeah, that one I knew because it was a question I was going to ask.
And she calls him
The Cucaracha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go.
So I win with one.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you win by default because had I asked Sean, he would have known too.
That's true too.
Yeah, I did that one.
Well, Sean, you came up with a couple of questions.
Well, that was one of them. So the other
What
one
was the other one?
I was just running out of time. So when we go to his apartment in Amsterdam, when there's that big picture of the woman shushing.
Yeah.
Next to it is a LED sign that has 3 phrases on it. What are the 3 phrases?
That's right. Lock, stock, and smoking barrel.
That would be no, but that would be a good one.
Live, laugh, love. Eat, pray, love. I don't know. I remember the woman shushing.
Yeah. So there's real eyes, as in real EYES, realize, as in to realize, and real lies, as in liar.
As in true lies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the other one I got.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I guess we could do another, name the Marvel connections.
There's a couple. Yeah.
There's
Deadpool
definitely a few.
yeah, Deadpool and what's his face?
Yeah, Sam Jackson, the 2 obvious
Yeah.
ones, and then
Yeah.
the girl, Agent Rousseau, she's in Daredevil as Elektra. And then I think there's a 4th, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Is Gary Oldman in?
He's in DC. I don't think he's in Marvel.
Yeah, I don't think he is yet. Everybody
It's
is.
only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, good job, Sam. Good win.
Yay!
All right. Time for this. Okay. Time for us to give us a score. We're going to give this movie a score from 0 to 10. And we'll start this week with Andrew.
Well, IMDb says that it's a 6.9, which is a fun number for all the family and friends. But I don't know. I did enjoy it, but like I said, I don't know that I'm gonna immediately go out and rewatch. If it were to be on again and I just happened to see it, I probably would watch it. I don't know that I would seek it out to watch again. So I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Okay.
Out of 10.
All right, Sam.
I really enjoyed it, though it does have some faults. I'm going to give it a 7.98 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. I love it. It makes me happy. And I am glad that we watched it, and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Even if you would have hated it, which is fine. I'm still glad that we got to watch it for the show. So I'm going to give it an 8.95.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like this movie a lot. I think it's a good movie. I think it's just so good. It has everything that I want in a movie. Really, it does. And it's funny because how we have like a good friend and show listener Rosie.
Yeah.
Like I would recommend this movie to her because it's not super violent. There's a lot of people that die, but it's just a gun goes off and the guy falls down. There's not like
Right, it's not gory.
There's nothing gory about it.
Yeah.
It's rated R because of the swearing. So if she likes, I'll have to message her and ask her if she plans on watching this. But she did ask us to watch a movie for Valentine's. That if it's just not streaming, but if it's ever streaming, we'll do. But anyway, that's it. That's the show, guys. That's
right.
everything. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Again, thank you guys for watching this movie. Sorry for all of the things, just the timing just not working out. Whatever, we missed an episode or we missed a week, but we'll catch back up in March. We'll be fine. So the question I have of you guys is this: next week. Well, I feel weird asking this on air. Are you both here next week?
No. I'm in New Orleans.
That's right. Okay. Then we will save the hitman's bodyguard's wife until you come back.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll wait for you to come back for that. So, Andrew, we'll figure out off air what you and I are going to do together.
Okay.
And, but I've already teased it. I think I teased it. I can't remember. But yeah, March is DC month. We're doing a whole month of DC movies. So I'm looking forward to that. But we still have one more week to go in February, and we'll see what we're doing. So again, a whole month. Basically, this whole month has been to be determined. So we'll continue to determine that later. But while we're determining that, you guys can go to our website to cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com. There you can find links to all of our social medias and stuff. Go to our YouTube page, like and subscribe. That would be fantastic. Leave us comments. A good friend of the show, Colleen, she loves to comment on our YouTube channel. And my favorite comment of hers recently was, "I'm not going to watch the Barbie movie, but I enjoyed your review." So I appreciate that, Colleen. So thank you for your comments. But yeah, that's it. So on behalf of Sam and Andrew, this is Sean saying thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you next week for To Be Determined.
Good deal.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.